What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. Now before we get into today's video guys, we are 10 subs away from 200. All we need are 10 people out there in the world to subscribe to the channel and we will have hit 200 subs. I know we can do it guys, 200 subs before the summer comes to a close. I know we can do it guys, because the moment we get to 200 subs, I'm opening up this Korean Strike of Neos booster box in its entirety on the channel, on the hopes to potentially pull this guy, Elemental Hero Air Neos, the so-called forbidden Yu-Gi-Oh card. Is it really forbidden? I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Now, if this channel gets to 500 subs, I'm going to open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes of it to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a Piece of Exodia, Pot of Greed, Monster Reborn. The possibilities are out there, guys. Give me a second, I need to move my chair. There we go. Much better. Much better. Now, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I'm going to open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes of potentially pull my second ever collector's rare. Because it wouldn't be the first time that I pulled a collector's rare. Because if you guys missed out on my Genesis Impact box opening, I pulled this. A collector's rare Beat Cop from the Underworld. I know the camera doesn't do it justice anymore because I just got blackout curtains for my room, but this thing looks gorgeous. Cannot deny how beautiful this thing is. I am going to be getting it graded at some point. And judging by the look of it, it has the potential to become a PSA 10. So, who knows? Who knows? But if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue. Maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE Top Gear videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys have not done so already, and you guys are new to the channel, because I know that a lot of you guys are, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day. Okay, guys, for some reason thank you. I don't know what happened. My Fire Stick just went to ads for some reason. Anyway, guys. Moving on. I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. Because it actually pertains to this video. The question of the day is this. Do you guys see the TG archetype becoming a tier 0 meta deck? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm very curious of what you guys have to say, because for today's video, I'm going to be talking about the new TG support, or Tech Genus as it was named in the 5Ds anime, that will be released in Age of Overlord. Now, for those who are curious about this archetype, this was used by Bruno, or I guess Antinomi, if you will, in the 5Ds anime, in the last season, I think it was the last season of 5Ds, because they did like because I know they did the full first season was basically Yusei competing in the in that tournament plus the battle against the Dark Signers, and then season 2 was basically them was them getting ready for that team cup tournament that was going on, plus the arc with Callan, I think, in the desert. So yeah, I think that was like the 3rd season. I think it was. But still, anyway, for those who were curious about the idea of the deck, or rather of the archetype, the idea is basically all special summoning and basically synchro summoning and excel synchro summoning into cards like Blade Blaster and Blade Blaster, Halberd Cannon, and whatnot, while having TG Hyper Librarian on board to give you some more draws for you to see more of your combo pieces. And looking at this first card, who knows if this deck will be a tier 0 deck? Only time will tell. But enough talk. Let's get straight into it. So kicking things off, we have Tech Genus Rocket Salamander. So it is a 1-star Fire Pyro with 600 attack and defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads: you contribute one Tech Genus monster, special summon one Tech Genus monster with a different original name from your deck. So that's actually pretty cool. It basically lets you, I guess in a way, it lets you tag out into another monster to help you go into your Hyper Librarian. So I think what is it? What's that one? Was it Rush Rhino? I think tag out Wonder Magician into Rush Rhino, because I think Rush Rhino is a tuner. For if I'm right, I think Rush Rhino is a tuner. So it would be Rush Rhino plus Rocket Salamander. That basically gives you Hyper Librarian, which is pretty cool. Second effect reads: if you control a machine Tech Genus monster, you can target one lower Tech Genus monster in your grave and special summon it in defense, but its effects are negated. So it's basically a Monster Reborn with a sort of like a tag out effect, which that's not bad. Although I think Foolish Burial might just be an old school meta staple that might be the card to help take this deck to a whole new level, which is possible, but only time will tell. Next up we have Tech Genus Mighty Striker, which is a 2-star Earth Warrior Synchro Tuner with 1800 attack, 0 defense, and requires a tuner and 1 non-tuner. So pretty generic, but it only works with TGs, obviously. The first and third effects are once per turn. The first effect reads: if this card is synchro summon, you can add one Tech Genus spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So spell and trap Rhoda, not much else to say about that. And you know damn well, as I've said before, any monster card that has a Cyber Dragon effect a Stratos effect or a Rhoda effect, if you will, you know damn well that card is going to be good. This one might not be any different, but it is only for TG, so I'm gonna have to try the deck out and come up with an idea. If you guys do have any ideas for a TG deck, let me know down in the comments, because I actually want to try this deck out. I am honestly, I'm serious about it. I actually want to try it out. The second effect reads, once per opponent's main phase, you can, as a quick effect, after this effect resolves, synchro summon using monsters you control as material, including this card. So it basically has the effects of Formula Synchron. So this is basically Formula Synchron, but for TGs, which is really good. Third effect reads, if this card is sent from the monster zone to the grave, you can send one TG card from your deck to the grave. So again, this is another one of those cards that is so good. It's just that damn good. Being the fact that it's a Fool's Burial, come on. It's pretty crazy. Next up, we have TG Over Dragoner, which is a 5-star Dark Dragon Synchro with 2100 attack, 1900 defense, and requires a tuner and a non-tuner. And the first effect is a once per turn, which reads, if this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon any number of TG monsters from your grave in defense, and you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except TGs. Excuse me. Second effect reads, if this card on the field is destroyed, draw one card. I mean, card advantage over your opponent, so you can't go wrong with that. Plus, you can even also just randomly summon a bunch of monsters and just go into your synchro plays, combo off, and the end board would be what? Blade Blaster? I think it would be what? Blade Blaster, Hyper Librarian, Halberd Cannon, I think. I'm gonna have to try this deck out, because I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I've never worked with the deck with this archetype before, but I've seen what it can do, and it literally has potential, but how much potential it has, I mean, who knows? But next up, we've got Tech Genus Glaive Blaster, which is a 12-star Earth Machine Synchro with 4000 attack and defense, and requires a tuner synchro plus 2 or more non-tuner synchro. So this is where the Excel Synchro comes into play, and funny enough, I think Limit Overdrive can actually work with this deck. So that's pretty nasty. That is pretty nasty. And funny enough, Limit Overdrive is a card that can help summon Quasar Dragon and Cosmic Blazar Dragon as well, which is pretty cool. But it has two separate effects. The first effect reads as a quick effect, you can target one monster, special summon from the extra deck, banish it. You can use this effect a number of times per turn, up to the number of non-tuner synchros used as synchro material for this card. So if you do use only 2, you can actually use it twice per turn, which is actually insane. Being able to just slowly but surely break your opponent's board. Not much else to say about that. This is probably your best win condition aside from Blade Blaster, which is pretty cool. The second effect reads, once per turn, if a monster becomes banished face up, you can target one of them and special summon it to your field, ignoring its summoning condition. So using So using this effect on a card like say as a random example, I'll say Overlord Savage Dragon. That right there is insane because you can go into because by that logic you can go into a rank 8 play. If you run rank 8 in your deck, you can go into a rank 8 play, which could be, oh, I don't know, number 38, perhaps? I mean, it's possible, guys. It's possible. Very, very possible. But again, this is basically this is essentially your win con, because you're banishing, you're basically breaking your opponent's whole board slowly, which is just absolutely insane. Next up, we have Tech Genius Limit Breaker, which is a normal spell, and both effects are a hard once per turn. The first effect reads: discard 1 card, add 2 TG monsters with different names from your deck to your hand. So this comes as a 2 for 2, which is okay, but if you're as long as you can bounce back and gain card advantage over your opponent, this card's actually pretty sick. The second effect reads: you can banish this card from your grave, target 1 TG monster in your grave, shuffle it into the deck, or if you control a machine Tech Genius monster, add it to your hand instead. So in a way, you're basically adding 3 cards from your deck to your hand, which is not too bad, but you need to gain more of a board presence. More board presence and card advantage over your opponent. This card could help, but it depends on what cards you add to your hand. If you add cards to your hand that can help make Hyper Librarian, then you're off to the races from there, which is really good. But at the same time, on the opposite end of that spectrum, hand traps are a fucking nightmare. Next up, we have Tech Genius All Clear. I believe there's only one. Yeah, there's only 2 more cards to talk about in this video. This is the first of the last 2. And Tech Genius All Clear is a continuous spell that has 3 separate effects, in which the third effect is a once per turn. The first effect reads: Tech Genius monsters on the field become machines. Machine dupe, anybody? Yeah, I think Machine Dupe might be instrumental in this deck, to be quite fair. The second effect reads: during your main phase, you can normal summon 1 Tech Genius monster in addition to your normal summoner set. Can only gain the effect once per turn. So again, it's a double summon. That right there is pretty good. It can help you go into Hyper Librarian really quick. But it all depends on what your opening hand looks like. Third effect reads: during your main phase, you can destroy 1 Tech Genius monster in your hand or field, and if you do, add 1 Tech Genius monster with a different name from your deck or grave to your hand. So it basically acts as like a Rhoda / monster reincarnation of sorts. So this is a really good. So this card right here, it's a really good combo starter. In which if you open with that card, it's essentially GG. It's essentially GG. But the last card to talk about is Tech Genius Close, which is a counter trap, and you guys know if it's a counter trap, it's a solemn judgment, in which both of this card's effects are a hard once per turn. The first effect reads: when your opponent activates a trap, a spell or trap or monster effect, and you control a machine Tech Genius monster, negate the activation and destroy that card. Second effect reads: if a synchro monster becomes banished while this card is in your grave, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. So obviously cards like Frame Lord Omega is gonna be extremely extremely instrumental with this deck, because with Omega you can just bounce cards from the banish pile back into your graveyard, and you basically have an infinite loop of negation in the form of basically of this card, which is incredible. Not much else to say about it. I will say this. I will say this. These cards do have the potential to become extremely broken, extremely meta, but I think the archetype needs a little more support, and maybe give it an additional Link monster, maybe even give it an Xyz monster that can help you synchro summon a lot faster. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but I gotta admit, these new cards look absolutely insane. But guys, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.